Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, a master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland. Off here to a 1v1 on Bocage. In the north, it is Caosak, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 1st Panzer Division here with Jaeger Infantry, elite troops, and German Infantry with Panzerfaust Infantry. West and south, it is Treadz, fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union. And the 20th Tank Corps here with Counter-attack tactics featuring the K1 heavy tank, shock troopers, recon air flight from Mother Russia, and the B4 howitzer with triple infantry bulletins. Also, my apologies for yesterday's episode. For some reason, there was a glitch that snuck in with the recording. It sounded like it was recording from a bunker somewhere else. I do apologise. Don't know where that came from, but you know, hopefully this episode have been doing some tests, and I can't hear anything on the other recordings. So yeah, not entirely sure about that. But anyways, just a bit there. But anyways, you know, big thanks to all my paid supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacast for keeping me in the business. Big thumbs up to them. You too can join the ranks as well by pledging on Patreon. You can also just donate. Links in the description. Otherwise, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. We got Treadz with the double engineer, double conscript start, allowing to see some more territory here. Caosak goes for the more standard Grenadier MD42 opening, heading centre and westwards, and Treadz here going for more aggressive, broader approach, using the double engineers, which you start out with, to that way sneak in more territory, of course, at the expense of slightly less immediate combat power versus the Germans. And of course, you also got the commander update being announced here with some beta stuff going on. I won't be showing stuff from that because it requires me fiddling with files and rather than just using the Steam Workshop, which I can understand why they're doing it, some technical limitations, all that, but yeah, no, it rather makes it difficult for me to let you do anything with it. So just a heads up, they can't show any matches from it, but there's definitely some interesting stuff there going on as well. Anyways, up here we got Indian news for the MD42 Pioneers, 3rd Conscript for Treadz. Suppressed and could be in a bit of trouble here. But I need some support though, because if Treadz then launches a flank here, could actually use Caosak's machine gun in a pretty bad spot. We do have a Grenadier squad to at least support the flank and anchor it up a bit here, but if Treadz just hits hard enough there, it's going to quickly get unhooked. But there you go, more gunners running here, destroying up the flank there with the MD42. Very good there by Caosak. Very good. It catches Treadz constantly in a bit of an awkward spot. More gunners here for Caosak. Standard stuff. We got the conscripts being sent packing there, exposed out in the open. Their assault not going anywhere. Treadz makes the decision to pull them back rather than waste manpower needlessly, which is definitely the correct decision to make there. Machine moving up here further westwards. East side though, Treadz of course realizes he can actually make pretty good progress. Dispatch the engineers. Thumbs up there to Treadz. Could of course try and reinforce more, but looks like he's trying determinedly to slow down Caosak in the west here. Treadz will leave no fascist insult to the glorious motherland go unanswered. Nothing further on the base of Treadz. Could go for more conscripts, could also go for the medics, could also try and go for grenades here to have to deal with the machine gun early on with a Molotov. A few options there for Treadz versus Caosak. We shall of course see which he goes for. Noting, of course, an engineer squad has been equipped with a flamethrower. Been caught here by the MD42. Well, suffice to say, it's not going to get any closer to actually, using that flamethrower anytime soon. Conscripts being shot to beds as well. On these Pioneers focusing them down. Forcing retreat here for Treadz. East out there again is seeing pretty good progress there for Treadz versus Caosak, but meanwhile on the west, Caosak is making pretty good progress. Though obviously not with that resistance. So we'll have to see how Treadz responds to this further. Will he reinforce success in the east? We'll try and push harder back here west in Caosak. Also, Caosak here seeing an opportunity to go for the copper, and that we're disrupting Treadz access to the eastern fuel. Thumbs up, and Caosak goes for German Infantry. Nice to see something besides Jaeger Infantry, which by the way is looking to get buffed a bit, though admittedly saw all the G43 upgrades for Grenadiers, so that means also Lightning War and Elite Troops, where they basically become harder to kill slightly, but also get access to a grenade instead of Ralph grenades. So a little fun note there. MD forcing up, you got medics up there for Treadz in his base. Back here, tech on the way there for Caosak. Coming up here, east side there. Grenadiers and fuel point. Definitely getting a bit spicy here for Treadz. He's got the car pump, but needs to get the fuel point back under his control, or this could get very, very uncomfortable fast. Now he needs to get the opponent's fuel very fast. Pioneers illusion the engineers machine to helping reposition. Looks like Treadz might in fact just be able to pull off here versus Caosak. Perhaps not. Not pushing forward here to further hit the MD42 just around the western victory point. We do see a pulse going eastwards here, but the fuel point has been rendered neutral, so the damage is being done here to Treadz. May want to take up soon-ish. We can bring up some support and constantly incorporate the Grenadiers and the MD42 there. Force reposition. Western fuel point almost secured, and there you go. Like to make a nice company for Caosak plus a Panzer Grenadier squad. Thumbs up there. In these, we got the engineers pushing back the grenadier, going back the carb point, and I imagine the fuel point soon. Back at base for Treadz, nothing further happening. Pushing westwards, comes pushing eastwards. Bit of a chaotic situation here for Caosak, and there you go, the Panzer Grenadier squad here is gefechtsbereit. Confrontations in MD42. Of course, when the patch will of course be done, who knows, of course there will still be no beta element there to the commander update, so there'll probably be more changes and all sorts of stuff there, so nothing is, set in stone as of yet. We do get the conscript grenade package here for Treadz. Molotovs and anti-tank grenades, probably an armored car here for Caosak. Could of course be a 250.5 tech, but most players do go for the 222. That's it. Treadz good. Now counter fuel harassment. They're starting to slow down things a bit there for Caosak, and as I imagine offset a bit of the harassment down there to Treadz when they turn mines on the fuel point. Good work. Support coming up with the other Indian squad, also good. And there we go. As expected, the 222 there for Caosak and the German army. Not the most difficult prediction to make. We got the sandbag fighting position now almost finished here by Treadz, but ultimately ruined as we got the Panzer Grenadiers within range, which obviously is going to be a significant issue for the conscripts. There we go, Yuri drops dead. So in a nice crater we can already be buried then, so that's nice and convenient. Armored car, they almost done. Panzer being further shredded here by the Panzer Grenadiers in the east. We got the Panzer Grenadiers forward straight to the Engineer squad. A not particular firm line of defense, but sufficient to back a lone Grenadier squad there. Can also start upgrading the Grenadiers with the veteran squad leaders, and the West Panthers pushing forward, backed up with the MD42. And we got a full infantry push here with minesweepers as well. Treadz starting to worry about the possibility of Caosak laying down telemines, or possibly S-mines. But certainly being on the lookout for telemines is, a pretty good idea. Maxim here for Treadz will need the field guns as well, because he's got no other real serious counter to the 222 that's going to be hitting him soon enough here. Holding up the sender, constantly up behind the MD42. Looks like Caosak sort of realised what's going, but it might be too late since the MD42 can react incredibly slowed at things like the edges of its arc of fire. Shock to a squad there for Treadz. Great again versus the infantry, but not so great versus an armoured car, which is already up in the east by the eastern fuel point. Mine there set off already, killing some Grenadiers. So how will Treadz respond to this and move to Caosak? They haven't fully exploit this. Needs to be got the Engineers versus the Stormtroopers squad. 2 thumbs up to Caosak, effectively calling in the Stormtroopers. One of my favourite infantry units there, and certainly a bit overlooked at times, I feel like, by Valorant players, but there you go, and the MP40 as well. Excellent, can add some serious pressure there to Treadz infantry. Mine goes off, they're killing several Panthers. Oh, actually just one Panther, and it's just Ludwig. No one really likes him anyways. I'm coming westwards back here, MD42 being enforced there for Caosak. Troops enforcing healing. I'm dragging the Maxim, tearing into it with its autocannon and coaxial machine gun here, showing no mercy to the machine gunners, and tearing through them in short and ruthless order. Comes to the Panzer Gunners, going to bring up here as well. We got the veteran squad upgrade there. Thumbs up to Caosak. Eastern field being claimed here though by Caosak and his Storms, but there you go. If you got a shock trooper squad, it's going to be a definite problem, in particular for the Grenadiers are already incredibly low on health. Any in the Stormtroopers there without serious veterans, your fire support will struggle against the shock troopers. Comes there dealing with the armoured car, he's trying to deal with it, but they are struggling. We got Tech here for Treadz, no field, and he's just going to push straight for the T-Center, which I mean does make sense. And we got the Stormtroopers just retreating as soon as they can at the right time against Treadz shock troopers, since otherwise they're just going to get wiped. Confident on the west side and backed up on the knees, back hit bunker up there for Caosak. Healing certainly needed. Let's see what reinforcement what's going on there. Armed covering with the conscripts. Well, trying to mistake gets hit with an anti-tank grenade. Great hit there for Treadz. Can soon go for the T-70. Caosak will need an anti-tank gun or more armoured cars to deal with the T-70 here. I mean, additional armoured cars will be useful as the infantry and the shock troopers in particular. But would cost him more fuel and slow down his tech somewhat. So it's a possibility, but Oh, demo! Holy shizer! Okay, that was pretty bold. He did get the conscript, but still, he just walked straight up to the MD42, laid down a demo charge, and then detonated before Caosak could realize what's going on. Wowzer! That was absolute cheeky breaky. Good God. It took me a few moments to realize what's going on. It's like, you're already too late. I imagine the same thing for Caosak. Hey, Jürgen, what is those Russians putting down? Hey, it's a demolition charge. We need to boom. Anyways, teasing there for Treadz. Need a pack 40 to stop that. Again, more armored cars. We're going to see what Caosak does, but still, losing an MU-42 like that is just both really cheeky and certainly just, you lost an MU-42 to the enemy. Interesting enough, I don't think the MU-42 suffered like any damage from that explosion bulb. It's just the crew like got blown away like they were leaves. Job to the Pentacles and the Stormtroopers. If you actually had to update this with the support package, you could also mark the Shock Troopers, in which case I think the Stormtroopers would even better chance. But there you go. Still, 2 assault squads here versus the Shock Troopers. Going to be a win there for Caosak. The Stormtroopers basically shot to bits here. Armored capturing the units to the west. Got the Maximum flying out there. Can't bring up there, but flank the Maximum cleared out. East side here, further pressure there from Caosak. Looking, of course, to at least regain some momentum here versus Treadz, who's got the T-70 out. Pack 40 is almost done for Caosak, but still he is in a slightly tempestuous situation. Armored car pushed back on his routed armored car, or Maximum there down to half health, in fact quarter health and half size. Counter position the armored car, forcing it back. East side here we got the Stormtrooper laying down a smoke grenade and falling back under cover, at least rendering Treadz fuel point neutral, slowing down his fuel income, very importantly. Guns being forward, taking a panther past the T-70. Guns being forcing healing, kind of these pioneers from westwards, armored car versus the conscripts. T-70 with a damaged engine. Cons being hammered here by the armored car. They've unleashed the punishment as well here. Armored car, I think, is a certainly notable risk of getting blown to bits. There we go. Caosak's MU-42 now turned against him. Might want to take up soon-ish. Need some to be grabbed in with the knees. Caosak's position very explosive versus Treadz. Gonna use versus the conscripts. Pack being hauled back. Needs to fix up the armored car. Gonna use Panzers is setting forts for Germany. Deutschland. Noting, of course, right now Caosak actually has a significant infantry advantage numerically over his opponents. Got 5 squads versus opponents 3 squads. And obviously some of them are increasingly qualitatively superior with veteran grenadiers, but also Panzers and Stormtroopers compared to the conscripts who aren't even 7-man squads. So certainly some great potential here for Caosak to turn the game around based off the infantry. Place them, aggressively but not recklessly. And of course, doesn't block them straight into machine gun. So this could become a bit of a problem there for Treadz, even with the T-70. Caosak will be also taking up, very good. Thumbs up to that one. Thumbs up. Shocked with the pushback the grenades by the western vector point, denying him there. In the east here we got the T-70. Ooh, being repaired, at least doing something there, getting it panzer faster. On the west here going to be further pushed back with the shock troopers. Quick retreat there. Can't build the support core now. Could try and rush out the Stuke here versus Treadz, but more likely just going to go for the Panther 4, which of course is, is a perfectly solid choice as well. Pushing east with the Stormtroopers towards the field point there. Almost got the T-70 as the Pack 40 backing up the Stormtroopers, very good. We do get air reconnaissance here from Treadz. I think in part just to fully ascertain how much pressure Caosak takes to bring up the eastern side, how to respond. At the same time, it's got the push in the west, so not a bad idea here by Treadz, probably again trying to just get a clear idea as to what exactly is happening there and how worried he actually has to be. So thumbs up there to Treadz. Meanwhile, we got this is 3 divisional field gun now for Treadz and the Red Army, finally committing to 1. Plus, of course, he does believe also at least maybe not for the hard to say connected to see from though, but again, he could also see what's going on in his opponent's space. Anyways, Panzer armored car here, tearing into the retreating shock troopers, almost getting wiped here on Treadz forces. Very good there. And these two got the storms routed by a counter-attack here by Treadz. Small local elements. Reorganized and forced forwards. In the center, Pioneers, armored car striking here, and there you go, aircraft in the fire from the armored car. 23 kills on that one, by the way. Really impressive kill count there. Now the MU-42 there for Caosak. May also want to consider in the near future setting up the support course, at least that way, just get the Panzer 4 going as soon as he needs to.
We are losing a sector.
Or a Stug, or even an Ostwind. East side here constantly forwards, going back east on the fuel point, both sides harassing the other's fuel supply consistently. Thumbs up to that one, very good to see. T7 there, Veterans who won almost. It's very Veterans who won adjacent, in fact. And then he fought to right about the corner there for Caosak and the German army. Hopefully this time, though, he's going to be paying a bit more attention to what the Engineers are doing around it. But I think that's the first time I've seen someone clear out an MG42 like that. I mean, that's a Propagandacast first. Anyway, so Palmer call there, right about down for Caosak, and then push it. You could go for a fast horseman right now, and certainly Treadz could actually struggle with that. He's more likely just to go for the Panther 4. Filming forts, machine getting flanked with the conscripts. Ooh, setting up, that's definitely a mistake there, I think, by Caosak. Oh, things just got worse. The pack for the cock than you for 2 here in the center. Yikes. He did panther fast the T70, but that definitely looks very uncomfortably awkward here. Pack control of the conscript. On the east side here we got the Canadians moving forward. Armored car with the damage engine almost knocked out, but also close to the ace level, so if you can survive for long enough with it and get it fixed up, it could be, you know, still a strong asset here for Caosak. Closing that Panther 4, but the pack crew has expired. T7 there, preventing Canadians from crewing it easily. And like Caosak really has no way of like destroying Treadz field gun or T70 in the field gun actually destroyed the pack 4, and like that's what it's going to go for here. Can go for the Panther 4 now, and definitely should go for it. The faster the better here for Caosak. The slower the better for Treadz. And there you go, Panther 4 away for Caosak. Thumbs up there. Caosak may of course want to consider taking up himself soon. Utilising the Panzers to corrupt the pack 4 here, mostly I think in part is to avoid the pack being destroyed because nothing else was active in the Cincinnati. To also have to get the T70, so very nice there. They'll need to get it back for reinforcement healing, maybe some repairs. MD4 in the centre holding up the Stormtrooper squad there. We got a nice flank with the shock trooper from News Conscript. That's going to be a retreat here from the Stormtroopers since they do not stand a chance here for any prolonged period of time. Panther 4 right around the corner here for Caosak, and they're most going for the victory point here. We've got 283 versus 462. Treadz so far with a magnificent lead here with Caosak and the Germans. There we go, Panther 4 ready there for Caosak. Germany, Deutschland. Troops enforcing healing. West side here we got the Canadians with the field gun, the Maxim. Close Veteran 2 there. Nice rifle grenade, in fact, almost wipes the Maxim crew there. Close, but no cigar here for Caosak and the Germans. The first Panzer shown there was denied its prize. But there you go, Panther 4 nonetheless moving forwards. Bit of a problem there for Treadz infantry. Field also was pushed back there by the arriving Grenadiers. Very good there. So that should allow him to gain control of the front line once more to a degree here versus Treadz. Ooh, something exploded there. Looks like a man was set off. Panther 4 getting some hits in there. Pushing eastwards with a large infantry force, spearheaded by the vet Panther's and the Stormtroopers. Excellent. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Back here in Treadz base, we got the field gun almost out there down there for him. Almost, but not quite. Another field gun there for Treadz. Still no tank. Guess he's stalling for KV-1 tanks or something else there. Just realised he forgot to take in time and needs to like get up another field gun to avoid getting steamrolled by the German panzers. A few possible interpretations there. Panzers was the conscripts. James with the conscript, and most importantly, we got the Panther 40 pin on machine almost done, and we almost got the conscript field gun there being repositioned, but doing so in a rather awkward timing. Thankfully for Treadz, though, Caosak does not exploit this opportunity, can't exploit it either. Armoured car by is good to go again, and it remains ever so close to the ace level, ever so close. Mechanized Armour Company are still failing to materialise within Treadz base. It launches another counterattack in the west here. Conscripts, machine gun galore, and of course several field guns. Actually, conscripts with shock troopers charging at Treadz. Machine gun holding up police part of the attack. Field guns quickly out the machine gun, but that would leave them exposed to the vehicular flank there. But whether or not Caosak is able to seize upon this opportunity is another matter entirely. Just because it is there doesn't mean, of course, the opponent may realise it and exploit it. There you go, machine being forced away there as Treadz bombards it with 2 field guns. Thumbs up there to Treadz, and quickly falls back. Of course, clearly concerned about the possibility of getting hit by an armoured flank there. That said, Treadz is not making a lot of progress here versus Caosak at the moment. not making a lot of progress. Caosak going for the mortar bar. They've got Nightmare for and Treadz here going for the B4 howitzer. He decides he wants something a bit bigger in the artillery department. Feeling behind the MD-42. Thumbs up there to Caosak. Coming Treadz. Caosak. Got the penalty was the conscripts by the eastern points here. That's the B4 fight yet? No, the B4 is waiting for its target. The right time. The right opportunity. Oh, looks like it's about to fire there, perhaps. Oh, there go Bunker Engineers. Nice hit there, several casualties. Numerous engineers dead in the dirt. Shock troops are charging heads here for Treadz. Assault army and the B4 remains silent, mortifying way there. Treadz here clearly the very patient hunter, but no mechanized armor company apart from the eastern side can soon go for. In fact, he can go for the second one now. I think that'd be a very good choice here for Caosak. Just more Panther Force versus opponent. The more the merrier, the more the better. Got the Storms going for a flank here using camouflage to get edge closer to the opponent. Very good. And there you go. Tactical advantage. There you go. B4 firing. And oh, shatters the well, but no Germans. But the Germans took care of the machine gun. They're going for the other machine gun as well here. And this time, Treadz allowed to go in there, pulls back. It may not be a surprise demo charge, but it is just as nasty, in fact. The machine gun might even have a chance to retreat there. Close run though, but it did actually retreat. Did retreat somewhat successfully, though it did suffer a few losses. Machine hit grabbed by Caosak, putting him. Now it's the one with the two machine guns and these shock troopers valiantly trying to defend the fuel from there against Caosak, but Caosak is clearly not allowing that to be easy. Panther around here to assist the stormtroopers in the retreat and maximum most early into the throng of Soviet infantry. Still no sign of further attack here from Treadz. No mechanized on the company, at least no assault guns either. B4 is ready to fire, and the field guns are firing at the Panther 4 here. Seconds away from another B4 shot here. Once it fixes out the target, of course. Looks like he's got a target in mind. And there he goes, straight to the advancing gun. He's almost taking out one squad. And there you go, Panzer going to be arriving the attending conscripts here, leaving the field behind to try and deal with this. Assault, the lack of arm, and anything else here from Treadz is definitely great for Caosak's infantry, who still has 5 infantry squads. Now all 3 gun squad veteran squad leaders here, versus again 2 conscript squads and a shock trooper squad. B4's back and cleared out by Caosak's forces. Awkward situation here for Treadz and the Red Army. There you go, B4 howitzer. Crew exterminated. Pack trying to destroy the B4 howitzer. How will Treadz respond to this affront? There you go. Field gun destroyed right before Treadz can accrue it. Field gun to howitzer. A nice strike there by Caosak. A decent penalty of Treadz for not going for any armor, I think. We can certainly get the armor car flying where they're ever so close to the ace. 26 kills in service of Deutschland. 26. Certainly not a kill count to be taken lightly at all. A strong kill tally. Moving forward to the center of the field guns, we got 277 with 262. Caosak has done great work here now, equalising the victory point difference between the 2 players. But certainly had another problem there for Treadz to deal with then. Particularly if he managed to completely overtake Treadz in terms of victory points. Field gun there pursuing the Panther 4, he's trying to pursue there. Move south here, bit of skirmishing. Shocked with the veteran grenadiers. Still no take there for him. Mr. Treadz to this, no mechanized armed company. Shocked from making short with the grenadiers. We see the first wipe here on Caosak's infantry, and yes, he got the first wipe there. Took him a bit of time. There we go, machine hit dealing with the field guns. We've got bombardment in return. Direct hit, they're killing one of the machine gunners. And the center machine gun they're setting up here. Surprised he didn't use both field guns, but then again, I then realised he doesn't have enough munitions for more than one barrage. Grabbing the point in the east, trying to reclaim some glory there for the Soviet Union. There you go, Caosak pops assault and hold. 2 thumbs up. Nice infantry push here. Excellent to see. Stormtroopers certainly benefit from it. And also overlaps nicely with tactical advantage. You also have munitions for that then. Armoured car Panful pushing forwards here. A strong drive there through Treadz front line. His support weapons overwhelmed. Forced to retreat. One field and crew there expires in the face of the German army. The German Wehrmacht. And there you go. That fielding's about to get toasted. Talks with the Stormtrooper. There you go. Assault and hold. Could even pop tax advantage from his chance. It doesn't need it. Shock Trooper squad wiped out. Treadz down to just 2 constant ports now. The situation is rapidly deteriorating here for the Soviets as the German army unleashes assault after assault. Successive attacks just driving back Treadz now. He's got these side though. He's still bleeding out his opponent's victory points. They're very nice. We got an Austrian for Caosak. Thumbs up. And we still have nothing there for Treadz in terms of armor. I guess he was really just focusing on a B4 based strategy. But he rather underestimated the German ability to use tanks against him. Comrades, how could this be? Our plan was foolproof. If, you know, for whatever reasons, foolproof also meant, you know, we could safely assume the Germans wouldn't use tanks, but still, it was foolproof. Foolproof, I say, comrades. This is most unfair. Looks like he is setting up for tech there. Yes, indeed, but rather late in the course would have been high. It's going to be much harder, I think, to go for like any option of the K1s, which is probably like wants to go for here. Versus Caosak is going to have to go for T-34, 6 and apply some surge pressure with them, and then maybe he can go for some K1s. But I think direct move for K1 here is going to be a bit tough for Treadz due to the constant manpower bleeding he's currently suffering here against Caosak. Not impossible, but it's going to be quite a challenge. It's going to be, I think, fairly expensive there for Caosak to pull it off. Western victory being seized. Grand Eastern victory point there with the Panzer Grenadier. Volkswagen moving forwards. Oh, not Volkswagen, the Grenadiers. And there you go, machine caught. He could throw it in a smoke grenade, and there you go. That's exactly what he does. Thumbs up there. Nice work by Caosak. Mechanized armor company have finally done it. Again, he's got plenty of fuel. It's the manpower that's really the issue right now here for Treadz versus Caosak. It is the manpower. Support ones once more routed. Flat Panzer remains in supporting position. Grab these in field point. Veteran Grenadiers pack on the move here. Machine heading northwards. Field coming forwards. Panzer engaging. We got ace level on those chaps. 26. Continues with the Panzer Grenadier. Grenadiers flying back. Stormtroopers starting out there. Halfway to the ace level. And Treadz can go for the K1 heavy tank. Does do so. It's going to be probably his last bet. His last hurrah here versus Caosak. If that fails, then it is GG. And there you go, Caosak here, of course. Oh, goes. He was about to go for the Strugi, but I guess he decided he didn't need it. Could be a mistake there, but then again, maybe he just needs more Panzer Force. He just crashed Treadz before he gets up the K1 anyways. You could also just consider laying down Telemines, to be honest. I mean, that could also slow down a KB attack fairly efficiently. Still, we got 204 versus 216. Victory points remain fairly close between the two players, but I mean, Caosak right now has a much larger force here than Treadz. Much larger. Better infantry preservation, but you know, also just more efficient strategy, you know, actually like going for tanks when he could. So there you go, K1 tank almost done here for Treadz and the Red Army. Almost.
We have 200 points remaining. Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Ground west in front of the Grenadiers and the MG-32. So there you go, K1 heavy tank ready for Treadz for the Red Army. A well-executed attack with it. Could drive a vetch there into Caosak's frontline holdings, maybe allow him to, like, you know, stage a comeback, but it's going to require, I think, some really good assertion there, or not assertion, but, you know, really good reconnaissance, taking out where Caosak is the most exposed, then deliver the maximum damage, and, you know, that way, you know, throw him off entirely. Because if he can unbalance Caosak, then he could probably like really deal a lot of damage fast. But on the other hand, just charges head on, and Caosak is ready for it. Then Treadz was just getting destroyed. We got the second Panther ready here. Panther's being pursued by the K1 heavy tank. Storm's just waiting for a target to ambush. Looks like it's going to be the field gun here. Panther engaging K1, and there goes Storm's ready to ambush yet. Engaging the field and crew up close with MP40s. The Schmeissers tearing through them. No mercy shown there. There you go. Fragmentation bombs will hit. Further mercy caused for Treadz. Will the fragmentation bombs hit the mark? It looks like the Engineer's going to go. Oh! Almost both Engineer squads were annihilated. Only poor Yuri survives. The rest were shattered. By Stalin's mustache. They've all been turned into minced meat. Didn't manage to get the field guns. We're still losing the Engineers like that. Certainly further slows down Tread's abilities here. Good hit by the Panther on the KV-1. Fox has been expressed with the ME-42, but at the same time we get a flank of the Osprey going for the field guns. Very nice work there. Plus vertical going for 2, and we get a nice assault and hold here. 2 thumbs to Caosak. This is a well-executed attack here. Completely, I think, dissecting Treadz now. Excellent work here. Completely just tearing Treadz apart here. Support weapons are gone. His infantry's shorn to bits. His armor's being overwhelmed here. It is a complete disaster here for Treadz. And I would say at this point, a total victory for Caosak. Excellent attack here. Completely robbing Treadz of like any remote hope of turning around there with that good flanking and the use of the assault mode. 2 thumbs up here. Or again, Treadz had a slightly, funny strategy in the B4. I mean, I didn't think he should not go for it at all, but I think he should have gone for some tanks before the B4. Plus, he should have been more mindful of his infantry preservation. Caosak, I would say, meanwhile, just played the doctrine very well. Make use of the assault and hold ability, which is really overlooked. Make use of the stormtroopers, also somewhat overlooked. I mean, in fact, the only thing he didn't use was these 250-1.5 decks. I mean, overall, really good play by Caosak. Great use of abilities, good use of maneuver, and while he did have a bit of a rough start, he was able to turn around there and punish Treadz for his mistake. So, overall, GG, well played. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links. Cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for our next episode. Bye.